Namaste everyone. Welcome to UDAYA'S classroom. In today's class, we are going to talk about business risk and its nature. Come, let's get started with the class. Yeah, business risk. When the business will face risk. Why the business is started? Business is started for the purpose of earning profit. That would be the leading objective of any business or aim of any business. Apart from the leading objectives, business has got many multiple objectives that we have discussed in the last class. Right. So, the business is started, that is its aim or objective is to earn profit. So in this profit earning process, the business have to face many uncertainties and unexpected events. So the business is facing some uncertainties. Due to this earning profit, it has to face some uncertainties or unexpected events. Like you can take this pandemic, this event nobody have expected. So because of this uncertainties and unexpected events, the business has to face risk. So can you understand? So the business is started for the purpose of earning profit. It is the leading objective of any business. Out of these process, the business has to face some unexpected events or some uncertainties. Due to this event, the business will happen to face some risk. So let's see what are all the nature of business risk we have in the business environment. The first nature of business risk is due to uncertainties. The business will face some uncertainties. Everybody knows, the people those who have engaged in the business activities, they have to face a lot of uncertainties. We cannot predict what is going to happen in the future, right? So uncertainties could be like due to natural calamities like earthquake or any other flood. Because of all these natural calamities, all the businesses will get affected. Or due to any fashion changes, the people those who are dealing with the fashion products, their business will get affected. If the people have engaged technology related or information technology related business, if the technology changes, their business will get affected. So all these things will come under uncertainties, right? So the business is at risk due to lack of knowledge about events which will happen in future. So the business people does not have adequate knowledge about what is going to happen in the future, right? So any business people or even common people have expected about this pandemic? No. So this is all coming under uncertainties, right? Moving on to the next business risk. Risk is integral part of business. Risk is integral part of business, which means any business if we take, the business risk will be there in the business, right? So without risk, no business cannot function. So any business if you take, the risk factor will be present. You cannot say risk factor is null. You cannot say, right? So no business can function without risk. The business risk could be minimized. So understanding about the future or some other prediction what is going to happen, we can predict with some extent, but 100% we cannot predict. So due to this prediction, we can have some advanced planning. Due to this planning and all other factors, we can minimize the risk factor, but we cannot eliminate the risk. So risk could be minimized but cannot be eliminated. So greater risk will create higher chance of profit. In business, if we take a higher level of risk, so ultimately and we will be ending up with seeing a lot of profits, right? So in Vadivel comedy, you can take risk call like eating rusk for me, right? The same way, if the business people has taken greater risk, there are higher level of chances of getting more profits, right? Moving on to the next business risk. Risk depends on nature and scale of operations. So how the risk factor will vary depending upon the business. It depends upon the nature of business. So what kind of business we are dealing with, and scale of operation. It could be scale refers to large or small scale business, right? So depending upon the nature and the scale of operation, the business risk would vary. If it is a small scale business, the risk factor and their loss would be very small. If it is a large scale business and their investment is huge, depending upon their investment and the scale of operation, the risk factor also would be heavy, right? So nature of business in the sense, like if you deal with any fashion imitation jewelries or any other technology things or any other vegetables, like it depends, right? So depending upon the business nature, the risk would vary. So nature and scale of business decides the amount of investments, need of funds for day-to-day expenses, etc. Larger the business scale of operations, bigger is the risk involved. Right? Can you understand? So, how will you find out the need of the fund for your business? If you start with a small scale business, your financial need would be very less. If it is a large scale business, your financial need would be very higher. So depending upon the nature of the business and day-to-day operations, some businesses, if you take, they have to procure raw materials on daily basis. So some other business, if you take, for their production process, they would be purchasing their raw materials maybe for monthly basis. So depending upon the business and their day-to-day activities, the decision related to their investment and need of funds would vary. Okay, so larger the business scale of operation, bigger is the risk involved. I have told you now. Coming on to the last business risk. Risk taking is rewarded in the form of profits. Risk taking is rewarded in the form of profits, which means if we take huge profit, who is going to appreciate? If we take huge risk, who is going to appreciate? Only out of profit we can understand, okay, I have taken huge risk for doing this business. My reward is I have earned a huge profit, right? So that is the reason why risk taking is rewarded in the form of profit. So however we take risk in a higher level, we can earn huge profit. So it is always said, no gain without pain. So without taking any pain, we cannot undergo gain, right? So entrepreneurs, that is the business people, undertakes risk under the expectation of higher profits. Any business people, they would expect higher profits only. None of the business people will start their business, I will not earn profit, I am not expecting anything in this business, I am not going to expect profit, like that. None of the business people will start, right? So they will be having some expectations. So for their expectation, they have to work hard and they have to take higher level of risk to earn more profit. So greater the risk, higher the profit ultimately. Okay, so now we have discussed the nature of business risk. With this understanding, we will end up the session today. I will meet you in the next class. Till then, it's bye from Udaya.